Welcome to the series of video lectures on microwave engineering. So in this session we will discuss isolator. This article comes in unit 5 of microwave engineering subject. Isolator. This isolator is a device which uses the principle of Faraday rotation. So as explained in previous lectures, what is Faraday rotation? Faraday rotation is the mechanism by which the plane of polarization of the wave changes when it passes through a ferrite material. So this is Faraday rotation. This device isolator uses the principle of Faraday rotation. See here, an isolator is a two-port device which provides a very small amount of attenuation or zero attenuation for transmission from port 1 to port 2, while provides maximum attenuation for transmission from port 2 to port 1. See, what is this? So this isolator is a two-port device which provides minimum attenuation or zero attenuation for transmission of the wave from port 1 to port 2. It will travel with minimum attenuation, while for transmission from port 2 to port 1, it provides maximum attenuation. Let us see why this isolator is placed, why this isolator is used in microwave benches, and next section we will see what is the construction of this isolator, and next the operation of isolator. Let us see why this isolator is used in microwave laboratories. As this is very important device in microwave laboratories, this isolator is a part of microwave bench in microwave laboratories. Let us see why this is used, this isolator. So the mismatch of generator output to the load results in a reflected wave from the load. Suppose if this generator output is not matched to the load, what happens? If the generator output is not matched to the load, then the reflected wave will occur. This reflected waves should not be allowed to reach the microwave generator, which will cause amplitude and frequency instability of the microwave generator. So that means if these reflections will reach to the microwave source, what they will do? They will cause amplitude and frequency instability of the microwave generator. So due to this, when isolator is inserted between generator and load, you can see here. So here if the load is not properly matched to the microwave source, the reflections will occur. These reflections will cause the frequency and amplitude instability of this microwave source. So that's why in between the microwave source and load, an isolator is placed. When an isolator is inserted between generator and load, the generator output is coupled to the load with zero attenuation. The generator output is coupled to the load with zero attenuation, and reflections, if any, from the load, if there are any reflections from the load, they are completely absorbed by the isolator. These reflections are earlier they reached the microwave source. Now these reflections are completely absorbed by the isolator without affecting the generator output, Hence the generator appears to be matched. Generator appears to be matched for all loads in the presence of isolator. So this is the purpose of isolator. It passes the wave from port 1 to port 2 with zero attenuation. When the wave is passing from port 2 to port 1, the wave is completely absorbed by this isolator. So let us see what is the construction of this isolator. So here I have shown the construction of isolator. Let us see what it contains. See here, the construction of isolator is similar to gyrator. Earlier we discussed gyrator. The construction of isolator is similar to gyrator, except that an isolator makes use of 45 degrees twisted rectangular waveguide, whereas gyrator uses 90 degrees twist. You can see that gyrator uses 90 degrees twist in the rectangular waveguide, whereas isolator uses 45 degrees twist in the rectangular waveguide, and 45 degrees clockwise rotation ferrite rod, whereas gyrator uses 90 degrees anti-clockwise ferrite rod in gyrator. So therefore you can see this difference between gyrator and isolator. In addition to this, the resistive cords are placed along the larger dimensions of the waveguide so as to absorb any wave whose plane of polarization is parallel to the plane of resistive card. You can clearly see here in this diagram two resistive cards in addition to the gyrator differences. So two resistive cards, see here, this is resistive card, this is resistive card. These two resistive cards are placed at port 1 and port 2. What is their purpose? Their purpose is that they absorb any wave whose plane of polarization is parallel to the resistive card. If the plane of polarization is parallel to the resistive card, they will absorb the power. The resistive card will not absorb any wave whose plane of polarization is perpendicular to its own plane. Suppose if the plane of polarization of the wave is perpendicular to this resistive card, it will not absorb any power. When the plane of polarization of wave is parallel to this resistive card, it will absorb the power. So generally this isolator will provide 20 to 30 dB isolation when it is traveling from port 2 to port 1. Let us see the operation of this in fact isolator. Here you can see that it is rectangular waveguide. It is a rectangular in the construction. It is rectangular waveguide. So there is a clearly shown 45 degrees twist here. So this is the ferrite rod. What is the ferrite rod? Ferrite rod provides 45 degrees Faraday rotation. In which direction? Clockwise direction. This is the rectangular waveguide. The middle portion is a circular waveguide. So these two are resistive cards. This is the TE10 wave at port 1. The output is also TE10 wave at port 2. So again the output, this is circular waveguide, the output is also rectangular waveguide. So see, this is the diagram. What happens to the polarization when the wave travels from port 1 to port 2, and this is the diagram which is how the plane of polarization of the wave changes when the wave passes from port 2 to port 1. Let us see this and this in the operation. The vertically polarized TE10 wave passing from port 1 through the resistive card is not absorbed. See the first point. So since this is the input vertically polarized, this is the vertically polarized. Since it is vertically polarized when compared to the resistive card, so therefore this wave is passed. This wave will come at the output of the resistive card without any absorption, since its plane of polarization is perpendicular to this resistive card. Number 2, after coming out of the card, the wave gets shifted by 45 degrees because of twist. So you can clearly see that after coming out of the resistive card, you can clearly see that because of this 45 degrees, the plane of polarization is rotated 45 degrees anti-clockwise direction. You can check that. Here the wave is like this. So after the twist, the plane of polarization of the wave is rotated by 45 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, and then another 45 degrees in clockwise direction because of the ferrite rod. So you can see this. So this is the after the twist, it is rotated 45 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, but when it is coming out of the ferrite rod, what is the ferrite rod will do? 45 degrees in clockwise direction. So therefore this wave is again rotated back by 45 degrees in clockwise direction by this ferrite rod, and comes out of port 2 with the same polarization as that of port 1 without any attenuation. You can clearly see that the plane of polarization of this wave, is same as that of plane of polarization of the wave. This wave arrives at the output without any attenuation. See, this is the first diagram. In the first diagram, you can see that this is the vertically polarized wave. So this vertically polarized wave passes through the resistive card without any absorption of power. So because of this 45 degrees twist, this plane of polarization is rotated anti-clockwise by 45 degrees when it passes this ferrite rod in clock. So this ferrite rod will rotate this in clockwise direction by 90 degrees. So therefore this polarized wave will come at port 2 with the polarization same as that of input wave. So therefore, this is when the wave is traveling from port 1 to port 2. Let us see what happens when the wave travels from port 2 to port 1. But the TE10 wave fed from port 2 gets a pass from the resistive card placed near port 2, since the plane of polarization of the wave is perpendicular to the plane of resistive card. In the same manner, when the wave is traveling from port 2 to port 1, initially the vertically polarized wave passes this resistive card because its plane of polarization is perpendicular to this resistive card. Next one. Then the wave gets rotated by 45 degrees. We can see that this wave gets rotated 45 degrees. This wave, when coming out of the ferrite rod, it gets rotated by 45 degrees in clockwise direction. 45 degrees in clockwise direction, and further gets rotated by 45 degrees. You can see that this 45 degrees gets further rotated by 45 degrees in clockwise direction by the twist in the waveguide. So therefore this ferrite rod provides 45 degrees and this twist provides again another 45 degrees. So therefore the plane of polarization of the wave will become like this. Now you can see that the plane of polarization of the wave is parallel with that of resistive card. This point is very important. The plane of polarization of the wave is parallel with that of resistive card. You can check that the plane of polarization of the wave is parallel to this resistive card. So, and hence the wave will be completely absorbed by this resistive card. As what is the resistive card will do, since this plane of polarization of the wave is parallel to this component is completely absorbed by this resistive card, since its plane of polarization is parallel to this resistive card. And the output at port 1 will be 0. So that is what we have shown here. The output at port 1 is 0 because this component is completely absorbed by the resistive card. So therefore the output at port 1 is 0. So the power is dissipated in the card as heat. So because it absorbs this component, this power is dissipated as heat in this resistive card. So this is the operation of this isolator. So this first section indicates why the isolator is used in microwave benches, and next what is the construction of isolator, and this diagram, this is the construction of isolator. In operation, what happens to the wave when it is traveling from port 1 to port 2, and what happens to the wave when it is traveling from port 2 to port 1, this diagram. So this is about the operation of isolator. Thank you.